All right, boys, so do not mind the absolute horrid mess here on my desk because, well, this is a problem that we're going to be addressing tonight. I'm going to be cleaning up this room because it is, as you can tell, horrifyingly disgusting. Just terribly, terribly disgusting. Like, I even have a chewed up tennis ball of Buddies on the desk. Nice. So, the reason I'm going to be cleaning, other than just because, I should be a decent, clean human being, is because this system right here is getting taken apart. What we're going to do is we're going to take the 5700G and the Mini ITX motherboard in here, and we are going to come over here and go down here, and we're going to use that Pico power supply right there, boys. We're going to take that bad boy, and we're going to put it on that motherboard. And then we're going to put my old Intel i5, motherboard and shit in there with the 6600 XT. This thing will go, it will also get the loud as hell 14 terabyte hard drive stored in here as well. And then it will go out there and be a, just kind of remote server that I can use for file storage, just for accessing files elsewhere, but mainly also being a, gaming PC out in the middle of the living room. So that's where this thing will go, this big case here. And this Mini ITX board is just going to sit here on the desk until nice little Mini ITX case that I ordered. But it's a super small, kind of like a nut case. The only weird quirk about it is because I was not going to spend a lot of money on it. It will most likely not get here for months. It's coming from China, so I'm going to assume I won't get it for months. Just kind of a safe bet on that one. But hey, it's better than like ordering something from like Russia right now. Let's just be honest. But I'm going to take you guys kind of on a journey with me here. So we're going to work on the computer, clean up the room. I won't do a lot of time lapse through this, but hey, I thought I'd take you guys on a little nerdy little journey. What? It's getting late, okay? Anyway, journey with me. So let's start doing this. All right, boys. So I've taken the computer apart, or not really apart. I've just got it, unplugged and ready to go. I'll probably do a little cleany poo on it. And then we've got the sound system, subwoofer, the thing, 2.1 surround, the thingamajigger. We got it done. Kind of got the Gorilla Glue, or Gorilla Tape shit here. It's really, really effective. You can see just how much it's stuck on there. It ripped up the top off of it. But we got that ready. I've got the motherboard with the old i5 here, RAM already in it, so this bad boy's ready to go. Yeah, I literally had to use a putty knife to get that thing off. But yeah, cleaned up the desk, put down my mat thing, got the monitor obviously ready, and now it's time to figure out whether or not this Pico power supply that I got over down there is going to work in here. Hopefully it'll go smooth. I'll see you boys when I get it apart. All right, boys, so we have taken apart the computer and we've just got our Mini ITX board here. Now I've put in the 1 terabyte NVMe drive in here, and I'm actually going to use this for this build here. Now I've got the Pico power supply hooked up, but I will go ahead and say that it's not just going to stay. I've got to put it up on some motherboard standoffs here and just kind of using it standalone right here. Of course, when I do get a case, it's going to go around it, but it'll take time for that to get here. So let's go ahead, and without anything plugged up, I'm going to try it with a screwdriver, and let's try turning this on. And of course, I don't have a light or anything, so this is going to be difficult. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Oh snap. Oh snap. All right. Now, she'll probably take a second to turn on because she, I believe, is trying to boot off the video card. But since that's not plugged in, it's going to take it a second. Because it's going to try and boot with the video card and then realize it can't. And then hopefully we get an actual display out. But this thing always trips me up because after I switch around graphics and shit, it takes so long that I typically think it's broken or some shit, and then it'll appear on the screen. So I will go ahead and fast forward to when this does actually pop up here. All right, so after clearing the CMOS real quick by jumping off that little two-prong jumper right there with a screwdriver right there, we have a working booting system, and that's only, again, because I had changed it from auto. Like it's typically on auto, and it'll automatically detect whether or not I have a PCI card in, or it should use the internal, like whichever one it detects. If it detects that you've got a PCI card in, it'll default to that. But if you don't have a PCI card in and there's an internal one, it'll default to that. But sadly, I had specified that, so I had to clear the CMOS, but that's totally fine. So we've got my Windows drive loaded up here, and again, that's because we switched out the 1 terabyte for the 512 that was in it. So bing a bing. Now let's get to installing OpenBSD, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. All right, boys, after trying literally everything, I flashed the CMOS for the motherboard. I tried booting up with not just the Windows SSD NVMe, the OpenBSD NVMe, no NVMe. Literally, the thing that fixed it was the HDMI cord instead of DisplayPort. Apparently, with this motherboard, to access the BIOS, it has to be over the HDMI port, not the DisplayPort. It will output DisplayPort, no problem, but not allow you to access the BIOS using DisplayPort. Awesome. But it's all working now, and so I'm going to go through here and, well, just configure everything, and then I'll probably also update the BIOS again because there is a new update for it. All right. So I thought I'd go ahead and record the actual install of OpenBSD. So we're going to do, this is 7.0, just the regular official release. I've got the 1 terabyte NVMe plopped in here. Just the 5700G. Let's do it. I for install. Choose my keyboard layout. The default's US. That's good. System host name, I like to keep it as Brio. And then which network interfaces do we want to configure? We want to configure my wireless one. Yeah. Any autoconf. Yep. It's not going to work because, you know, it's got to pull in the firmware after the first boot. Excuse me. It's like literally 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. I have spent way too long copying over files and cleaning the room, and I mean, I did spend some time playing with Buddy. Yeah, Buddy. Dude, nothing better than an OpenBSD install with Doggo. Yeah. Alright, so that's configured. IPv6, default, none. We want to, before we finish, RE0, because that was one of the 3. We don't need to configure the VLAN, but we got the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet. And so let's configure that. Symbolic host name, Brio, sounds good. Autoconf, yes sir. Give that a second. IPv6, none. And we're done. And then DNS domain name, I'm fine with my domain. Again, most of the OpenBSD install is pressing enter. I swear to God. Okay, password for the root account. All right, so let me see if I can do this one-handed efficiently. So for the root account, I believe in myself. Sweet, got it. And then start SSH by default. Yes. Do you want the X Window system to be started by XenoDM? I like using StartX. XenoDM is OpenBSD's default display manager, and it is, as far as I know, has some security improvements compared to StartX, but I don't care. XenoDWM kind of looks, in my opinion, shit out of the box, and I just don't want to spend time with it. Just use StartX. So no, change the default console to COM0. Nope. Set up a user. We actually do want to set up a user. I'm gonna make his name be Zaney. Full name for user, it's gonna be Tiller Gilly. And then password for the Zaney user. Let's see if we can do this. Definitely not a short password. I would never do that. Let's see. Allow root SSH login. No. Again, default. What time zone are you in? Of course it gets it right. OpenBSD, you're a legend. Okay, so which disk? Let's do the question mark to see. Okay, so SD0 is the 1 terabyte NVMe drive, Samsung SSD. Let's say SD0, yes sir. And this is, of course, the Windows drive. Use whole disk or GPT. Then it's going to spit out the auto partitioning and ask us if we want to do the auto partitioning, edit the auto layout, or create a custom layout. And the automatic partitioning is typically fine. You'll need to check to make sure it's fine. So this is post Tyler, post install Tyler, and I just wanted to go ahead and say that after you do the automatic partitioning, if you're like me and didn't know this at the time, or at the very least you're installing, late at night and you happen to forget things that you already know, on OpenBSD, if you have a hard drive hard drive, SSD, whatever, that's bigger than 356 gigs, that's all it's going to automatically partition. The rest will be unused. So that's pertinent information if you don't want to keep unused space. A lot of the times it comes in handy for creating dedicated partitions for stuff if you like doing that. But again, just, letting you know. All right, bye. Typically, what I will say is if your drive is not super small, if it's not like 20 gigs or something like that, then the automatic partitioning is probably going to be fine. If you know one of these partitions over here needs to be a certain size, then just here's the best way to check, okay? Or here's the place to check. I don't know what I'm saying. Just use the automatic layout, all right? It's fine. It's going to be fine for most of you. Automatic sounds good to me. And then it's going to ask us which disk do we want to initialize, and we're done because that one we just initialized. All right, and so now we're going to install the sets, and of course the default is the internet, HTTP. That's where we're going. We do not need a proxy URL. Now let's do question mark. All right, so we get to spit out this massive list of servers or mirrors, and we want to use, I believe, the Dallas, Texas one, because that one is well, hold on, isn't there a Kentucky one? Fuck yeah, there is a Kentucky one. Hell yeah, that's the one that we're going to choose, which that one is 5. So let's Q out of this, Q out of that list, so we get our enter back, and we're just going to enter in 5, because that's the number next to the mirror that we want in Eastern Kentucky. So we'll click 5, and then you'll see the mirror becomes the default. So 5, mirror Sandy River, and we have it down here, mirror Sandy River. Perfect. So press enter. The server directory, again, we're going to enter into the default. It's going to find our sets, and it's going to, the X there, it means that it's selected. And so we're just going to click done and install all the sets. And this will take just a little bit, but this is pretty much it. Like this is an OpenBSD install. It's really not that crazy. Literally, most of this night has just been cleaning up my room, getting it all nice, getting the computer out of the case, figuring out how in the world it wasn't working right, even after clearing the CMOS, which it only took many a forum threads to find out that it was most likely to do with me using a DisplayPort cable instead of an HDMI one, which Gigabyte, just straight up, fuck you. Because Gigabyte is pretty much the reason why I'm not getting sleep tonight. So just a message to any person who like works at Gigabyte: fix ya shit, okay? This is unacceptable. There is no reason that it shouldn't go out through DisplayPort and let me enter the BIOS through DisplayPort. I'm going to go ahead and update the BIOS because I checked on it. I'm like, let's see, I think I'm 2 or 3 versions behind. So, I mean, maybe they address that in one of them, hopefully. All right, we're completely done with the sets. I have no idea when it finished, but now it's asking for the location of the sets, and again, it's going to default to none because we just pulled them down. So click done. All right, boys. So this is obviously post install Tyler again, and I just wanted to go ahead and say this is when my phone died, and after this, I did go ahead and it just, finished. Literally, the install was finished. We just rebooted, and yeah, after that, I just went ahead and installed all my programs and everything. And I want to go ahead and use this time to go ahead and let you guys know. I'm writing a whole bunch of guides that are going to go up on a little repo I'm going to be putting up on GitLab, and it's going to be just OpenBSD guides in general. And so I'll have that up here in a couple days, so look forward to that. We'll also be starting back with the Rust series here very shortly. I'm not exactly sure when, but yeah, it's now 12 o'clock at night the next day. I got shit sleep, and today I had to help my mom build a standing desk and do a whole bunch of packages, clean the house, and try to get more stuff done on the computer. I've literally been taking notes and shit. I've been a busy bee. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this all over the place video. If you've got anything to say, please leave it down in the comments below. Any relevant links that my half dead brain can remember to put down in the comments below, I will. And I'm going to go ahead and take this time to thank my fantastic patrons over at Patreon. Russell Willis, TDB, Art Center, Seneca, Joshua Lee, Papa Smurf, and Matt from the Linux Cast. I'm glad that I can remember all my patrons. I'm doing good. Thank you guys all and everyone over on YouTube for the great comments, the all around support you guys give. It's awesome. I will see you in the next video. Peace.